Welcome back to the Perspectives of the Bible. We're absolutely thrilled you've chosen to embark on yet another enlightening journey with us. Before we dive deep into today's transformative topic, we encourage you to subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on notifications. This will ensure that you never miss out on our captivating content crafted to inspire and reshape your spiritual journey. Today, we explore a truly profound and transformative subject: desperate prayers. Have you ever felt utterly overwhelmed, desperately searching for clarity or guidance, like navigating a dark tunnel with no visible light at the end? If your answer is yes, understand that you're not alone. The Bible is replete with remarkable narratives of individuals who courageously expressed their raw and honest emotions when reaching out to God. Their desperation not only led to divine encounters that transformed their lives, but also influenced the trajectory of history itself. This theme of vulnerable communication beckons introspection. Are we genuinely approaching God authentically, or do we sometimes hold back our true selves? Do we wear a mask of formality, filtering our raw emotions through societal expectations? As we live in a world that often venerates perfection, we will dive deep into the lives of biblical figures who showed us the beauty and power of desperate prayers, offering lessons not just about faith, but profound insights into our shared human experience. We begin with a heart-wrenching story from 1 Samuel 1, the account of Hannah. In her society, motherhood was revered, and the ability to bear children was more than a personal desire. Imagine Hannah's unbearable heartbreak as she grappled with infertility or struggle sowed seeds of despair that affected her joy, health, and social standing. Instead of pleasing the conventional expectations of prayer, she chose to pour out her soul before God, expressing her anguish with unfiltered honesty. Hannah's plea transcended mere words. It pulsated with emotion. "O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your servant and remember me, and not forget your servant, but will give your servant a son, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life." Her heartfelt request shone brightly through layers of sorrow, an intimate articulation of her innermost longing that resonated deeply with God. When was the last time you unburdened your heart without hesitation? Did that moment ignite a shift in your understanding of prayer and your relationship with the divine? Hannah's prayer wasn't just a recitation, it was an invitation for God to step into her pain. In response to her authentic cries, God blessed her with the birth of Samuel, a prophet whose legacy would echo through the annals of time, influencing generations and shaping the future of a nation. So, what lessons can we glean from Hannah's experience? It teaches us that God yearns for our raw emotions rather than polished, perfectly crafted phrases. When we surrender our struggles candidly, without the veil of pretense, we invite God to work miracles within our lives. This interaction highlights a vital truth. Deep emotional honesty shapes our spiritual landscape and invites miraculous change. Next, we shift our focus to the iconic life of King David. This multifaceted figure is perhaps best known for his raw and emotional expressions found in the Psalms, which provide an intimate glimpse into the vast spectrum of human emotion from jubilant praise to profound despair. A striking example is in Psalm 22, where David pours out feelings of abandonment and anguish. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Through his raw pleas, he acknowledges fears and pain, courageously laying his heart bare before God. David teaches us an invaluable lesson on the importance of vulnerability in nurturing our relationship with God. His honesty, expressing both joy and sorrow, cultivates a deeper connection with the Almighty. Have you ever pondered how we too might be encouraged to mirror David's honest dialogues in our own prayers? Perhaps it's time for us to examine the emotional barriers we erect during our conversations with God. Each of David's psalms serves as powerful hymns, resonating with individuals wrestling with their faith, while inviting them to engage amid their own struggles. Let's now turn our attention to the gripping narrative of Elijah chronicled in 1 Kings 19. After an extraordinary victory against false prophets, Elijah, often seen as a great and fearless prophet, succumbed to a troubling sense of isolation and fear. Within the confines of his cave, engulfed in despair, he cried out to God, pleading for death. Given the gravity of his emotions, God could have responded with condemnation, but instead he met Elijah right where he was, offering gentle provisions and encouragement. This divine encounter is a testament to a powerful truth. Our most profound struggles can become opportunities for divine encounters, where God meets us in our vulnerability. Are we allowing our struggles to inspire us to seek God more diligently, or do we find ourselves keeping them at arm's length? Elijah's heartfelt cries amidst his despair highlight the profound connection that can emerge from our darkest moments, revealing that God sees our struggles and desires to comfort us. As we contemplate these compelling narratives, a vivid pattern emerges. Desperate prayers often catalyze significant transformations, not only within our lives, but also impacting those around us. Are we holding back in our own prayers? Are we overly concerned with maintaining a formal or polished demeanor when communicating with God? What uncharted possibilities could arise if we fully embraced the practice of unfiltered honesty in our conversations with the divine? One practical method to cultivate this raw honesty is to set aside intentional times for unstructured prayer-dedicated moments where we pour out our hearts without fear of being judged or the need for eloquence. This can take the form of journaling our prayers, speaking our fears and hopes aloud, or simply seeking quiet solitude for introspection. Such practices can create profound openings for healing, clarity, and divine guidance, turning chaos into peace and despair into hope. As we navigate further into our exploration today, let's reflect on your prayer life. What steps can you implement to enrich the cadence of raw honesty and vulnerability in your conversations with God? Remember, a single shift from formality to heartfelt candor can lead to life-altering divine encounters. Delving deeper into the realm of desperate prayers, we cannot overlook the transformative narrative of Hannah in 1 Samuel 1. Her life embodies an incredible blend of personal longing, unwavering faith, and rich vulnerability. Consumed by her deep desire to bear children, Hannah approached the temple not by hiding her emotions, but by pouring out her heart to the Lord without reservation. This transitional moment, stepping into the holy space to transform her profound agony into a heartfelt plea, emphasizes the significance of genuine communication with God. Reflect for a moment on Hannah's experience. She did not suppress her deep need for a child or masquerade her emotions. Instead, she let them flow freely, allowing her honest cries to become a catalyst for divine intervention. Have we paused to think about the moments we've hidden our true emotions from God? Could it be that honesty in prayer serves as an invitation for transformative encounters and divine intervention? After Hannah's heartfelt prayer became reality, she gave birth to Samuel, a prophet whose influence would echo through time and shape Israel's spiritual journey. King David's journey, portrayed in the Psalms, stands as a powerful testament to authentic communication with God. His words encapsulate the full range of human emotion: joy, elation, despair, love, and regret. In Psalm 142, penned while sequestered in a cave, he lays bare his fears and frustrations, seeking refuge in his Creator amidst overwhelming adversity. David's willingness to voice his struggles and expose his innermost feelings to God reveals a vital truth: the very act of articulating our thoughts invites divine strength into our frail hearts. Let us pause to reflect on the depth of our own struggles. Do you resonate with David's poignant experiences? Each unburdened heart becomes a vessel for divine comfort and peace amid life's tempests. Desperate prayers are not merely cries for help, they transform into vital conduits for renewal, insight, and transformation in our relationships with God and others. Consider also the compelling account of the woman with the issue of blood found in Mark 5,025,034. For 12 agonizing years, she endured not only physical suffering but also social ostracism, deemed unclean by her community. Driven by desperation tinged with unwavering faith, she braved the crowd. Single-minded in her pursuit, simply touched the hem of Jesus' garment. This act of vulnerability transcended a mere physical reach. It epitomized her firm belief that healing was not a mere possibility, but a divine promise waiting for her. Her story underscores a crucial truth. When we voice our deepest needs and desires to God, we create opportunities for His miraculous power to manifest in our lives. This woman's courageous act encourages all of us to reach out to God, regardless of shame or fear, and reveal our longing for restoration and healing across our spirit, mind, and body. As we draw nearer to conclusion, we must recognize that Hannah's fervent vow, David's heartfelt pleas, desperate prayers have the power to remake our lives and relationships. Embracing vulnerability in our conversations with God fosters connections that deepen amid life's trials and tribulations. These prayers do not only transform our hearts, they ripple outward, impacting communities in ways we might not yet comprehend. Indeed, as we navigate the complexities of life, let us embrace the teachings from these biblical accounts. By maintaining a posture of raw honesty in our prayers, we pave the way for sacred interactions while empowering others through our authenticity. This journey of openness isn't just personal. It has the potential to inspire those around us to engage with their faith in newfound sincerity and vulnerability. As we conclude our examination of desperate prayers throughout biblical narratives, it's vital to understand that these sincere cries for help not only transformed individuals, but resonated powerfully through communities and generations. Once more, consider Hannah. Her passionate prayer in the temple symbolizes more than individual longing. It epitomizes a sacred dialogue where profound heartache yields transformative potential and divine purpose. When she sought a son, she vowed his service to the Lord, promising to return him to the temple. Through this heartfelt exchange, Samuel's birth became monumental, shaping Israel's spiritual and national identity for centuries to come. Looking back at King David, his life encapsulates the critical necessity for authentic communication with God amid both triumphs and trials. Through the Psalms, David unveils his soul, detailing emotional experiences ranging from jubilation to profound sorrow. In Psalm 51, deeply aware of his grievous sin with Bathsheba, David openly cries for mercy and forgiveness. This moment emphasizes that genuine repentance stems from a place of authenticity and vulnerability before God. His urgent confessions laid the groundwork for spiritual restoration, demonstrating how expressing our struggles can facilitate divine renewal. Let's not forget the life of Job, who personifies suffering and existential searching amid adversity. His raw honesty shines as he leans into vulnerability throughout his journey, particularly in Job 10, where he boldly demands clarity from God regarding his suffering. His candid expression captures a vital truth. Even in doubt and pain, our honest cries can connect us more intimately with God. Remarkably, while Job awaited concrete answers, he ultimately encountered the earth-shaking presence of God, illustrating that sometimes the absence of answers can lead to the richest spiritual encounters. Through these biblical examples, we uncover an essential principle. God genuinely desires our honest dialogue. When we navigate struggles and ambitions with authenticity, we invite God's grace, compassion, and unwavering love into our lives. So how do we take these profound biblical examples and live them within our daily experiences? One immediate action is to prioritize unfiltered prayer time. Don't suppress your pain or triumphs. Instead, invite these emotions into your prayer life. You could maintain a journal for reflection or vocalize prayers aloud. Such practices can cultivate sacred spaces for creating depth in our communication. In summary, desperate prayers rooted in raw honesty have the potential to lead to remarkable transformations, not just within ourselves, but extending to the world around us. Each heartfelt plea becomes an open invitation for God to intervene, promising insight, healing, and renewed hope throughout our lives. Remember, you are not alone in carrying your burdens. Allow the biblical foundation of desperate prayers to guide your journey as you engage honestly with God, paving the way for transformative encounters and illuminating stories. Embrace this call to authenticity. It's a journey worth embarking upon, not just for you, but for all those you will impact in the process.